Drop it. Good boy. Can you come here, please? Let us ignore my dog behind me. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another new video. Welcome to the last day of bookmas, and in today's video we will be doing my reading journal. I won't be making this intro too long because I actually have filmed everything, so I just want to talk through all of the supplies that I used. Let's just start with the type of paper I will be using. This is A5 binder paper, so there are 6 holes, 3 holes, 3 holes on the side, and I use a binder for my journal. I know a lot of people use books and stuff, but I preferably like the binder because it's easy for me to take out pages, to insert pages. I use the dotted type, by the way. I know some people use lined, some people use squares, but I like the dotted type, so that's what I use. As for the binder, I have this is my A5 binder notebook. This is how it looks like on the inside. There are compartments here. These are some covers that I didn't end up using, but I have compartments to put like papers and such, and then I'll put my reading journal in these holes. And that is my A5 binder notebook. Very simple, very plain, very easy, not too complicated. For pens and all of those things, the main pen I use to write is my Muji pen. This is in 0.5. This is in the color black. Obviously, I have a lot of these Muji pens in like different colors. This is my pile of pens, by the way. I have one in orange, one in blue, I have a pink one. So I do have these pens in all different colors and I love them. For highlighters, I use the Zebra mild liners. These are the Zebra mild liners. There are a lot of different types. I suggest finding the pastel ones. These are the pastel ones. They're not very bright on paper. It's not too intense and it doesn't bleed through my pages, so I do highly recommend the Zebra mild liners. Other highlighters I use, but I didn't use in this reading journal, however I will be using it throughout the year, are these highlighters. I don't actually know what these are, I'm not gonna lie, but they're called Cream Color, and I bought this in like a local stationery store in my country. But this is how it looks like. It comes with 6. There are 6 colors and they're great. They also don't bleed through. They're very pastel, very muted colors. I highly recommend these as well. I think for the most important bit are my stamps. You'll see later on, but I use a lot of stamps and these are the stamps that I use. Obviously it comes with A to Z. There are the capital letters, there are the small letters, and then there are also numbers right here. Also, if you guys see different colored nails, I apologize, I haven't done the color for this nail. Anyway, those are my stamps. I use a regular craft, or the ink, it's a little bit butchered because my dog ate it, but I use this in this reading journal. These are stock papers. I know some people use like old books they don't want to use, but I just buy stock paper like this. There are lots of them. Yeah, I use these stock papers for like scrapbooking. You guys can use like old books if you want to. I didn't use washi tape, but I have some washi tapes that I sometimes use for future spreads, but for this spread I wasn't using any of these. We have some colorful ones like I showed you guys just now, and then we have some plain looking ones. As you guys can tell, I love grid, so they're just a lot more versatile. They're easier to use. Something else is glue tape. It's like correction tape, but it's glue, and I have different types. I have one that looks like this. I have one that looks like this. The point is any glue tape works. I do recommend using these more than like those stick-on glue tapes just because they're less messy and they actually stick very well. With that being said, I think that's about it. Oh, last but not least, I have these. This is sticker paper. The back of it is, as you guys can tell, yellow and the front is white. You print on here and then you can peel it off and it becomes sticker paper. I use it very often in this reading journal. It saves all the time, basically. That is it for my stationeries portion, and I'm just gonna send you guys over to me creating the spreads. It's a little bit like vlog style because I did this in 2 days and I tried my best to show you guys every single portion. With that being said, I'll send you guys over and you guys can check out my reading journal. I hope you guys enjoy my 2025 reading journal setup.
Hello, yes, I decided to do a voiceover for this portion of the video because I feel like it's just a lot easier and I can be more focused when I talk through the things I'm doing with this reading journal, and I feel like it's really difficult to talk while I was journaling, so this was easier for me. Anyway, as you guys can tell, I am currently cutting up book covers that I need to paste onto my reading journal. Also, I use a specific type of paper. I use sticker paper. It's just easier to stick onto the reading journal later on. I don't have to use glue. I can just take off the backing and stick it onto the page. Now let's move on to the first spread. This is going to be the front page, the reading log. This year I decided to do things differently. I wanted to go colorful with my spreads, so I use these colorful papers as the headings of each month. I did a very neutral tone last year and I wanted to do a colorful one this year, which is why I am doing it this way. By the way, the reading log is basically an overview of all of the books I read each month for the whole year, and right now I'm just sticking every single color onto the spread. And then I took out my trustworthy stamps. This is going to be for the writing of each month. I'm very bad with calligraphy, so I use stamps to help me with that. It's just a lot nicer, it's a lot easier, it's fuss-free. So yeah, I'm just stamping them on. It is really easy. I recommend it if you guys don't like your writing, but you want to make your spreads look cute and aesthetic. Now that we're done with this spread, we're going to move on to the next page, which is going to be my 2025 overview. This is a very new spread for me. I didn't have this last year, but I wanted to do this because it's, once again, it's like an easier way to keep track of everything in one page. I'm currently making a table that I've already sketched out. Each column represents something I am tracking, and each row is for every single month, so 12 months, and I am tracking 8 items. You will see later on in this video what I'm tracking, but for right now I am just currently making my table and drawing the lines. I then use the same color paper that I used for the reading log, and I'm going to use this for my 2025 overview writing that I'm going to put on top of the table, and I'm pasting them one by one onto the page. Also, I am using this correction tape that has adhesive on it. I'm not using glue because I don't like glue. It's very messy. This is so much easier and it's so much more fuss-free. I highly recommend it. It's easy to use. And then I'm going back in with my stamps because, once again, I have bad writing. I do not like to write, so I am relying on my stamps to make sure that my reading journal looks aesthetic. Okay, and for the things that I'm tracking for this overview, I'm tracking the number of books I read per month, the number of pages, and then if I have any 5-star reads, if I have any Kindle reads or physical reads, and then DNFs, the average rating of the month, and lastly, if any of the books I read were newly bought. I have this cute sticker pack that my friend gave me, and this is going to be the main stickers I use for my reading journal because they're very cute. It's something to do with dairy and milk and stuff, but I really like the colors in this sticker pack, and they're kind of iridescent, so it's pretty, it's cute. I thought it would be fitting for this reading journal, so I used it, and I really like how things ended up. So that is the end of my 2025 overview. We then end up skipping a few pages, and I'm gonna be doing my new releases spread next. Remember the book covers I was cutting? So we're gonna be pasting those book covers onto the left side of my new releases spread. I originally never had this spread on my previous year. I only had a page where I put all of the books on one side and not like the covers, but I want to make my reading journal very colorful this year, so I decided to do lots and lots of book covers. This took a while to collage. To be honest, I ran out of space. I had a lot of books. There were a lot of covers, but I made it work. I tried and I made it work. And then we're moving on to the right side of the page. I used the same color paper as the previous two spreads, and we're going to basically write down the new releases as well. So I have the book cover version and then the written down version. I did the same thing for this spread with my last year's spread, and I really like it. It looks colorful and cute. I'm very happy with the spread. We are skipping ahead again because I want to get all of the book cover spreads done. So we skipped over to the 25 and 2025 spread. By the way, all of these books I talked in depth. I have a YouTube video for them. They're all part of bookmas, anticipated new releases, and the top 25 books I want to read next year. So check out those videos if you guys want to see more in depth of why I picked those books. But yeah, we're just pasting the book covers down onto the spread. I have 25 books for this, and we use 2 pages for it. I use the same sticker pack. I use the same stamps. Everything is the same because I honestly do not like when my spreads are too messy and all over the place. I try to make it simple but cute. So this is how I end up with this spread. I honestly didn't know what to do with this page, just gotta be honest. So I made it a little bit simple, just lots of covers, and that's about it. I actually went back to the new releases page because I actually forgot to put the title on the spread. So I am stamping the letters down, and that's about it. We are moving on to the second day of filming this reading journal because I took 2 days to film this. I could not do it all in one go. That would be crazy. It takes too much time. But yeah, we're doing the next spread that is next to my 25 review that I skipped, and that is my Hall of Fame spread. Once again, same color paper, same stamps. We're using the same things, but this time around something different. I am incorporating my highlighters. We're gonna use my pastel Mildliner highlighters, and we're gonna use these highlighters to make the borders for each month for this Hall of Fame. Basically, the spread, I'm gonna be putting my favorite book of the month with each column, and I'm just drawing them in with the pastel highlighters. It's gonna be a colorful spread. I am excited for this spread. Ending this whole thing off with, once again, the stickers, and I only put a little bit because it's already full enough, and we're moving on to the next spread. So these 2 spreads are going to be my 5-star reads and some of my favorite spreads. So the left side are my 5 stars, and the right side are going to be my 4.5/4.75 star reads. This is going to be a very, very empty spread because obviously I do not have books yet for these spreads, but I decided to do a little bit of a scrapbooky detail. I took out some scrap paper that I have. They mimic newspaper clippings slash like books, and I tore them up to put on the border so that it will not look as empty, because if I only have just the 5 stars in the middle, it looks too empty. So I decided to use these scrap papers to add a little bit of aesthetics to the spread. And yeah, that's what we're doing on the left side for the 5 stars. And I did the same thing for the right side on the some of my fave spreads, but it's gonna be a little bit different. I don't want to do all borders, so I decided to put the scrap paper in the middle. But yeah, basically, all in all, these 2 spreads are gonna be full by the end of the year, but right now it is completely empty. Topping it off with the same stickers, and then we're moving on to my new releases page. I forgot to write down the book name, so we're doing that right now. Rapid fire: January, February, March, April, May, June, etc. I have a list already, so it was easy to write them down. But while I was writing them down, my camera actually stopped recording. So by the time I hit like June, I didn't have any clips of me writing the rest down, but you best believe I filled everything down to the brim. All right, I have so many new releases in April and May. I was pretty surprised. Anyway, we're moving on to the next spread, which is going to be my physical TBR plus my book spot spread. These spreads are actually just going to be tables. They used to be bookshelves in my old 2024 reading journal, but I actually do not like them. They're very hard to track. I have to like spin the journal if I want to write something down, and it gets really messy and I run out of space. So I decided to just do a table. Also, the physical TBR table right now is empty. The bottom part is not lined yet because I don't actually know how many books I have in my physical TBR. I'm keeping it empty for the meantime. I'm gonna fill it in after I have everything written down. We're moving on to the book spot page. This one is a little bit tricky. I decided to do a tiny booklet on the page because I always run out of space for this particular spread, and I know I buy a lot of books, which is why I decided to do like a tiny little booklet. I DIY'd this. I don't know how to explain it, but basically I did 2 papers and made them into like a little flip page thing so that I can keep it in one spread but then have like space for lots of books to write down. Anyway, I show it to you guys, so it's really hard to explain, but that is what I did. I then used my zebra mild liner highlighters to make the borders for the table so that it will look more like a colorful look instead of it being really boring. Last bit of the spread is stamping on the title page for each of the spreads. This took quite a while. I don't know why, but it took a long time. However, I finished it, and now we're moving on to the next spread, which is going to be my series tracker. This is going to be a pretty empty spread as well because I will not be filling it in until next year. However, I'm using the same scrap paper to kind of decorate it, and then I took out this translucent paper that is for tracing. However, I use this as like a scrapbooking reading journal material, and I stamped on a series tracker onto this thing, and then we're going to be attaching this to the scrap paper that I pasted onto this page. And then when I was writing down the series on this spread, my camera wasn't recording, so I apologize. I don't have a b-roll of me writing them down, but this is the final like result. And then apparently I have a lot more series than I expected, so this ended up being like a 4-page spread. I did record this part though, so you guys see the b-roll of me writing down the series for the 3rd page. I left 1 page empty for the future series I'm going to be reading. We are moving on to the last bit. This is the last page of the whole spread for the intro of this reading journal, and it's my A to Z and my DNF. My DNF page is going to be completely empty because I'm going to do the whole like book cover scrapbooking style instead of doing a graveyard that I did for last year's reading journal spread. I did an A to Z this year. I didn't do one last year, but I thought it was fun, so I decided to do one this year, and I decided to use the highlights for the lines because it looks colorful and it looks cute. I have a column for the A to the Z, a column for the book title, and then a column for the name of the author, because sometimes I feel like it's necessary. So that's the A to Z, and that is basically it. I decorate with all of the stickers I have left, and that is the end of my reading journal setup. Let us do a final flip through of my reading journal. The front page currently is empty, but it'll be decorated very soon. If we flip, this is going to be our reading log, and this is where I put all of the books that I read. Each title will be with each line, and then we'll have lots of titles as we go. Next page is my 2025 overview on the left and my Hall of Fame on the right. I will be tracking 8 things to see like the overview count. And then for all my Hall of Fame, it's basically favorite books each month. I'll be putting the book cover on each month. Next, we have my 5-star reads and some of my favorites. Obviously, this is currently empty, but it'll be full as we go on throughout the year. This is my new releases page. I decided to do on the left side lots of book covers of the new releases I really like, and then a written version on the right side. I really like this page. It looks super cute. Next is physical TBR and book spot. Once again, this part here is empty because I don't actually know how many books I have. Just in case I need space, I leave it empty for now. And then on the right side, my book spot, I have a flippy thing that is going on here just so I have space to write down all of the books that I bought in the year 2025. This is to keep track of like books that I bought last year and books that I bought this year. Next page is my series tracker. This is going to go on to 2 pages because I have one more here, and I have not filled everything in, but I'll be filled in once I start doing it next year. So that's 2 pages. Next, we have my 25 in 2025 page. They're all just book covers. We're going to tick them if I've read them as we go. Hopefully, I will get this finished by the end of the year. And last but not least is my A to Z and my DNF page is going to be filled with book covers. Hopefully not a lot of books, hopefully, but on the left side, basically, I just have to find a title that fits the letter A to Z. Usually it's not full, but I thought I would do this. It's kind of fun, so I thought I would do it. And that is it for my reading journal. That is the last page, and that is the final results. Once again, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this, and if you guys did, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It'll mean a lot to me, and I hope you guys enjoyed bookmas so far. But that is going to be it for this video. Once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.